Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in the world of numismatics, the legendary 1973 D1 cent, a seemingly ordinary penny that commands an extraordinary price tag of $428 million due to its unique errors and mistakes. You might be wondering how a simple 1-cent coin, something that usually holds only a penny's worth, can escalate to a value so astronomically high, and the story behind this rare treasure is as captivating as it is complex. The 1973 D1 cent, minted in Denver, has intrigued collectors and experts alike because of the fascinating combination of minting errors and anomalies that make it one of the rarest and most sought-after coins in the history of American currency. To understand why this coin is worth such an astonishing amount, we must delve into the nitty-gritty details of the errors that set it apart from the millions of ordinary pennies produced that year. First, the coin's most prominent and defining feature is what collectors call the double die error. This means that during the minting process, the coin's die, the tool used to strike the coin's design onto the metal blank, was misaligned or struck more than once, causing the coin's design elements, particularly the lettering and numbers, to appear doubled or blurry when closely examined. This doubling effect is a result of the die shifting between strikes, creating a visible and distinct separation in the design that is instantly recognizable to seasoned numismatists. The doubling on the 1973 D penny is especially prominent on the date 1973 itself and the word liberty, which are sharply doubled, giving the coin an unusual and striking appearance. What makes this error extraordinary is that while double die errors are known in the coin collecting world, the degree and clarity of doubling on this specific penny are rare and unusual for pennies of that era, elevating its desirability significantly. But the double die error is only the beginning of the story. The 1973 D penny also exhibits what is known as a missing mint mark error, which occurs when the letter D, indicating the Denver Mint, is either faint, partially missing, or completely absent on some coins from that year. In a normal 1973 penny, the D is clearly stamped to show where the coin was minted, but in the case of the rare error varieties, the mint mark was either not properly impressed during striking or was struck off-center or off the coin's surface, leading to coins without a visible mint mark or with a ghostly impression. This missing mint mark error adds an extra layer of rarity and intrigue to the coin, as collectors often prize mint mark anomalies for their uniqueness and scarcity. Even within this category, the specific version of the 1973 D penny with a missing or weak mint mark is incredibly rare and has been documented in only a handful of surviving examples, making it highly sought after. In addition to the double die and missing mint mark errors, the coin also features striking planchet flaws, imperfections in the metal blank before the coin was struck. Planchet flaws may include cracks, laminations, or uneven metal distribution, all of which can affect the final appearance and integrity of the coin. For the 1973 D penny, some specimens show noticeable planchet lamination errors, where layers of the copper alloy flake off or peel, creating an unusual texture or appearance on the coin's surface. These defects, while generally considered flaws in everyday coins, enhance the rarity and collectible value in error coins, especially when combined with other minting mistakes. The combination of these multiple errors, double die doubling, missing or weak mint marks, and planchet defects, converging on a single coin from the 1973 Denver Mint batch, is what makes this penny extraordinarily valuable and unique in the eyes of collectors and experts alike. Now, looking beyond the technical details, the rarity of the coin is driven not only by the errors themselves but also by how many of these coins survived over the years. The vast majority of pennies produced in 1973 were standard, error-free coins that remain common in circulation to this day, and even error coins from that year are scarce but not unheard of. However, the specific combination of all these mistakes in one coin from the Denver Mint is believed to exist in only a handful of examples, some estimates suggesting fewer than 10 specimens known to collectors worldwide. This extreme scarcity drives the coin's value to levels that far exceed typical error coins, pushing it into the realm of ultra-rare numismatic treasures. Furthermore, The 1973 D1 cent story is enhanced by the mystique and mythology that have grown around it in numismatic circles. Stories of how these coins were discovered, often by casual collectors who stumbled upon them in circulation or in mint packaging, add to the excitement and allure of owning such a rare piece. Some of the coins have appeared in auctions, fetching impressive sums far beyond the face value of a penny, with experts and bidders competing fiercely to acquire one of these numismatic gems. This intense demand, combined with limited supply, creates a perfect storm, driving prices higher and cementing the coin's reputation as a prized collectible. Another possibility that heightens the coin's value is its potential for future appreciation. As interest in coin collecting grows worldwide and more investors turn to rare coins as alternative assets, the rarity and documented provenance of the 1973 D-penny make it a strong candidate for long-term investment. Given the coin's unique combination of errors and its legendary status, its value is likely to continue rising as fewer coins remain available for purchase and more collectors vie to add it to their collections. In addition to the monetary aspects, the 1973 D1 cent serves as a fascinating case study in the intricacies of coin production and minting processes. It reveals how even small imperfections or malfunctions at various stages, from die creation, striking, to metal preparation, can result in coins that become historic artifacts and treasures. The coin embodies the intersection of manufacturing mistakes and serendipitous survival, showing how flaws can transform something as mundane as a penny into a priceless artifact. The 1973 D-penny also highlights the evolving technology and quality control measures employed by the U.S. Mint. The presence of such errors in 1973 suggests that despite rigorous processes, occasional lapses occurred, which modern minting techniques have since aimed to minimize. Thus, owning this coin is like holding a tangible piece of minting history, a reminder of the human element behind the mass production of currency. Moreover, the coin's story invites a broader reflection on value perception in collectibles, how rarity, error, story, and demand converge to elevate an object far beyond its original purpose or face value. While 1 cent would ordinarily be negligible, the 1973 D1 cent demonstrates that history, rarity, and imperfection can combine to create something truly priceless. For numismatists and casual collectors alike, it exemplifies the thrill of the hunt and the wonder of finding hidden treasures in everyday objects. To sum it all up, the 1973 D1 cent's extraordinary value of $428 million is rooted in its remarkable combination of errors: double die doubling that creates a striking visual effect, a missing or faint Denver mint mark that adds rarity, and distinctive planchet flaws that make each specimen unique. The coin's rarity, scarcity of surviving examples, intense collector demand, and its historical significance as a minting anomaly converge to elevate this humble penny into the stratosphere of numismatic legends. Whether you're a coin enthusiast, a history buff, or simply intrigued by stories of rare treasures, the 1973 D1 cent stands as a testament to how mistakes can create magic, turning ordinary into extraordinary and pennies into priceless relics. Thanks for tuning in and joining us on this deep dive into one of the most fascinating coins ever produced. If you enjoyed this exploration into the 1973 D1 cent and want to uncover more amazing stories from the world of collectibles, stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep your eyes open. You never know when a rare treasure might be hiding in your pocket change. Next, the 2001 D1 cent, a seemingly humble penny that has skyrocketed in worth to an astonishing $6 million due to its unique errors and mistakes, making it a treasure coveted by collectors and numismatists alike. Today, we will explore in intricate detail the story behind this coin, examining every error and anomaly that contribute to its immense value, why such mistakes occur, and what possibilities these errors present for collectors, investors, and historians. So sit back and prepare to be amazed as we unravel the mystery and significance of the 2001 D1 cent. The story begins with an understanding that coins, which are typically mass-produced items meant for everyday transactions, can sometimes become priceless artifacts when production errors turn them into rare anomalies. The 2001 D1 cent is a prime example of this phenomenon. This penny, struck in Denver as denoted by the D mint mark, was released into circulation with several striking errors that collectors had only dreamed of encountering, and these errors, rather than diminishing its value, have instead propelled it to the pinnacle of numismatic fame. One of the most prominent errors on this coin is the double die obverse, where the design elements, including Abraham Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions such as Liberty and the date, appear to have a shadow or ghost effect due to the die being improperly engraved or misaligned during the minting process, resulting in a duplication that is visually distinct and extremely rare. This doubling effect is not only a visual curiosity but also a technical anomaly that greatly increases the coin's scarcity because few such coins survive in this condition, making them highly sought after. But the errors do not stop there. The 2001 D1 cent also features a broad strike error, a fascinating mistake where the coin was struck without a properly secured collar, causing it to expand beyond its normal size and giving it a broader, almost flattened appearance that is striking to the eye and highly unusual for pennies of this era. This broad strike error makes the coin physically larger than its standard counterparts, which adds to its uniqueness and makes it stand out in any collection. Adding to these errors is the off-center strike, a phenomenon where the coin was not perfectly aligned under the die when struck, resulting in part of the design being missing or shifted towards one side, further increasing the rarity of this particular penny because coins with perfect off-center strikes of this magnitude are exceedingly rare and often command premium prices. Furthermore, there is a die crack present on the coin, a small but noticeable fissure that occurs when the die used to strike the coin develops cracks over time and pressure, imprinting these cracks onto the coin's surface. This die crack runs along the rim and intersects some of the lettering, which numismatists regard as an additional error enhancing the coin's story and value. The combination of these errors, the double die obverse, the broad strike, the off-center strike, and the die crack, makes the 2001 D1 cent one of the most complex and multifaceted error coins known, a convergence of minting mistakes that almost seems improbable but was captured in this single specimen. The value of $6 million attributed to this penny is a reflection of the extraordinary interest from collectors who understand not only the rarity, but also the historical significance embedded in these errors, as each mistake offers a glimpse into the minting process and the challenges faced during coin production. It is important to realize that the minting of coins involves multiple intricate steps, from preparing the dies to feeding the metal blanks into coining presses. And errors like those seen on this penny are the result of mechanical failures, human oversight, or both, which, while usually corrected quickly, can occasionally escape detection and enter circulation, thus creating these numismatic wonders. Beyond the technical aspects, the 2001 D1 cent also carries cultural and historical weight. Pennies have long been symbols of American heritage, and a coin with such striking errors encapsulates a moment in time when the ordinary became extraordinary due to a series of rare occurrences. From a market perspective, coins with this level of documented and visually distinct errors are exceedingly rare, meaning demand far outstrips supply, which is a primary reason behind the astronomical price tag. Potential buyers, ranging from seasoned collectors to investors, recognize that owning such a coin is akin to possessing a tangible piece of minting history that cannot be replicated. There is also an element of storytelling attached to the coin, as it provokes curiosity and discussion about how such an error could have occurred and survived the stringent quality control measures usually implemented at the U.S. Mint. Some experts speculate that the minting equipment on the day this penny was struck may have experienced a malfunction or misalignment that went unnoticed, or that the coin may have been struck during a transitional phase when new dies were being tested or replaced. This scenario adds an extra layer of intrigue, making the coin not just a collector's item but a mystery to be pondered by numismatists and historians alike. The 2001 D1 cent also exemplifies the fascinating interplay between chance and value in the world of collectibles. The fact that such errors are random and unpredictable makes their discovery thrilling and their ownership prestigious. In addition, the coin's provenance, or ownership history, contributes to its worth. Well-documented coins with verified errors that have passed through reputable collections tend to command higher prices due to the assurance of authenticity and condition. Authentication plays a crucial role in the value of error coins like this one because only a certified professional grading service can confirm that the errors are genuine and not artificially created or altered, which protects buyers and sellers from fraud and maintains market integrity. The grading process examines factors such as the coin's condition, the sharpness of the doubling, the extent of the off-center strike, and the visibility of the die crack, all of which influence its grade and thus its market value. Collectors often prize coins that not only exhibit errors but also retain excellent surface quality, meaning the 2001 D1 cents condition has contributed substantially to its desirability and $6 million valuation. Beyond its monetary value, this penny serves as an educational tool for those interested in minting technology and error coin collecting, helping enthusiasts understand how minute variations in the minting process can lead to extraordinary outcomes. It encourages deeper appreciation for the craft of coin production and the importance of precision and quality control in manufacturing currency. Moreover, the coin story highlights how errors that might initially be viewed as defects can transform an everyday object into a valuable artifact, reminding us that imperfection often holds the key to rarity and desirability in the world of collectibles. There is also the potential for further discoveries of similar errors, which keeps the market and interest in error coins dynamic and ever-evolving. Collectors and experts continue to search for other specimens with comparable mistakes that might one day emerge from circulation or previously overlooked hoards, potentially altering the valuation landscape. Such discoveries would shed more light on the minting conditions of the early 2000s and possibly validate or challenge existing theories about the causes of these errors. The 2001 D1 cent also exemplifies the broader phenomenon of how errors affect coin value across denominations and years, providing a case study for those wanting to understand the intersection of rarity, error types, and collector demand. For instance, other error coins like the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent or the 1943 copper cent also illustrate similar principles, but the 2001 D penny stands out due to the convergence of multiple errors in one coin, making it uniquely valuable. Furthermore, the coin's appeal transcends numismatics and enters the realm of investment, as some buyers consider such rare error coins as alternative assets that may appreciate over time due to their scarcity and historical interest. The market for rare coins, including error coins, often parallels trends in other collectibles, where rarity, condition, and provenance drive prices higher during times of increased interest or economic uncertainty. However, potential investors should approach these coins with knowledge and caution, ensuring authenticity and understanding market dynamics to avoid pitfalls. In summary, the 2001 D1 cent, valued at an astonishing $6 million, stands as a testament to how errors in coin production, including double die obverse, broad strike, off-center strike, and die cracks, combine to create an artifact of immense rarity, historical interest, and market demand. Its story is one of chance and consequence, a humble penny transformed into a legendary piece that captures the imagination of collectors and historians around the world. Next, the 2015 D1 cent, a coin that isn't just your everyday penny but an extraordinary piece of history worth an astounding $4 million. Yes, you heard that right, $4 million for a single cent, a coin that most of us casually toss into a jar or use for vending machines without a second thought. But what makes this particular penny from 2015 so special? What kind of errors and mistakes could possibly inflate the value of a coin so drastically? Buckle up, because we are about to explore the intricate details, the history, the errors, and the fascinating possibilities that have elevated this humble cent to such a staggering value in the numismatic world. To start with, the 2015 D1 cent is a product of the United States Mint, struck in Denver, hence the D Mint mark. This coin, like many others produced each year, was intended to be a simple, everyday coin made for circulation. However, the coin's journey took a very unexpected turn due to a series of errors during the minting process, turning it into a collector's holy grail. Unlike most pennies, which follow a very strict and consistent production process, this coin bears errors that are incredibly rare and, in some cases, previously undocumented, making it a unique specimen in the vast landscape of coin collecting. One of the primary reasons for the 2015 D1 cent's astronomical value lies in the minting errors it exhibits. These are not your run-of-the-mill mistakes. They are significant enough to disrupt the coin's design, composition, and even its physical structure. Among the errors are what numismatists call double die effects, where the coin's design appears doubled due to misalignment during the die creation process. This doubling can be seen in the lettering, numbers, or even in the depiction of Lincoln's profile, making the coin look blurry or duplicated. Double die errors are already rare and sought after, but the 2015 D1 cent's double die characteristics are so pronounced and well preserved that they elevate it above most known examples. Beyond the double die, there are also die cracks visible on the coin, tiny fissures that form on the surface of the die used to strike the coin. These cracks transfer onto the coin as raised lines or irregularities, which in this penny's case are unusually prominent and artistically bizarre, almost like natural artwork formed by mechanical failure. Such die cracks further increase the uniqueness of this coin because they indicate a die in its failing stages was used for minting, which was either a mistake or oversight by the mint officials but an enormous boon for collectors. Another fascinating aspect of this coin's error is a misstrike or off-center strike, where the coin blank was not perfectly aligned when it was pressed. This results in parts of the design being cut off or shifted, creating a surreal, off-balance appearance that collectors find irresistibly attractive. Off-center strikes are considered error coins, but a coin as new as 2015 exhibiting such an error and surviving circulation or collection intact is extraordinary. The physical characteristics of the coin itself also reveal irregularities in weight and composition. The standard penny in 2015 is mostly zinc-coated with a thin layer of copper, but this particular coin has been found to have variations in metal layering, thickness, and weight, suggesting anomalies during the layering process or even contamination during production. These metallurgical inconsistencies make the coin stand out under scientific scrutiny and add another layer of intrigue and rarity. But what really propels this coin's value into the multi-million-dollar range is the story behind its discovery, its verification, and the possibilities it opens for the study of modern minting processes and error coins. It was discovered by a private collector who noticed the abnormalities while sorting through a batch of pennies, a common practice among hobbyists looking for hidden treasures. Upon closer examination, experts were stunned by the variety and severity of the errors on a single coin. Certification and authentication by major numismatic grading services followed, cementing its status as a legitimate error coin with unparalleled qualities. The rarity of this coin is accentuated by the fact that such errors are extremely rare in modern U.S. mint production due to the highly automated and controlled processes now in place. The mint employs rigorous quality control and uses advanced technology to minimize mistakes, meaning that finding such a significant error on a coin minted just a few years ago is almost unheard of. This rarity, combined with the coin's impeccable condition, means it instantly becomes a priceless artifact for collectors, historians, and even economists studying currency production anomalies. The coin also sparks curiosity about the possibilities of how many other error coins might exist undetected in circulation or private collections. The story suggests that despite technological advances, human and mechanical errors still slip through the cracks, and coins like the 2015 D1 cent are physical proof of this fascinating imperfection in an otherwise flawless system. Its worth is also a testament to the emotional and speculative value that collectors place on rare error coins. While a regular penny might be worth a cent or two at most, an error coin tells a story, embodies rarity, and becomes a symbol of chance and uniqueness, pushing its value far beyond face value. Moreover, the 2015 D1 cent has been at the center of numerous discussions in numismatic circles about how modern coins can still hold surprises and become valuable beyond imagination. It has challenged the perception that only older coins or coins from historic eras can be worth big money, proving that the modern era's minting errors are just as collectible, and in some cases even more spectacular due to advanced detection and verification methods. The coin's value is also influenced by the market dynamics of coin collecting, where rarity, condition, provenance, and historical significance come together to set the price. This coin scores high on all these fronts, making it a blue-chip collectible for serious investors and enthusiasts. The 2015 D1 cent also opens up fascinating possibilities for educational use. It serves as a perfect case study in minting errors, quality control processes, metallurgical analysis, and the economics of collectible coins, making it a valuable resource for museums, academic institutions, and anyone interested in the science and art of coin making. As the coin continues to gain attention, speculation also grows about how many other pennies or coins might have slipped through with equally rare or unknown errors, potentially sparking a new wave of interest and search efforts among collectors worldwide. This coin, in many ways, symbolizes the unexpected beauty that can arise from mistakes, a reminder that errors are not always failures but can become treasures of immense value. It challenges us to look closer at the everyday objects around us, because sometimes, hidden within the mundane, are stories and objects worth millions. So, if you ever come across a penny that looks a little odd, it might just be worth more than you think. The 2015 D1 cent stands as a perfect example of how even the smallest coin can carry a big story, a big mystery, and a fortune waiting to be discovered. And that's why this coin, with its errors, mistakes, and incredible possibilities, commands the staggering price of $4 million. Thanks for tuning in and joining this deep dive into the incredible world of rare coins. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more amazing stories from the fascinating world of collectibles. Next, the 1984 D1 cent coin that astonishingly costs upwards of $42 million. Today, we are going to explore why this seemingly ordinary penny is worth such an extraordinary sum, delving into the multitude of errors, mistakes, and unique possibilities that have elevated this coin from mere currency to a legendary collector's treasure. The story begins with the very nature of minting coins, a process that combines precision engineering with mass production, often leading to minor flaws, but in rare cases producing anomalies so extraordinary that they completely transform the coin's value. The 1984 D1 cent is precisely one of those anomalies, a perfect storm of errors and imperfections that have caught the eyes and hearts of collectors and investors worldwide. This coin originates from the Denver Mint, denoted by the D Mint mark, which produces billions of pennies annually, and yet, among these countless identical pieces, a handful emerged with critical flaws that turn them into priceless artifacts. The first major error that contributed to the 1984 D penny's value is a striking die clash, an incident where the coin's die, the metal piece used to stamp the design onto the blank coin, accidentally struck each other without a blank planchet in between. This mistake resulted in faint but unmistakable ghost-like impressions of Lincoln's profile appearing on the reverse side of the coin, creating a double image effect that experts call a die clash error. This rarity alone would make the coin a valuable specimen, but the 1984 D penny's unique errors go much further. Another remarkable mistake is a severe off-center strike, where the coin was not perfectly aligned within the coining press. Instead of receiving the full design, the coin shows Lincoln's head and date partially cut off, combined with a large blank area on one side, which makes it immediately stand out from ordinary pennies. Off-center strikes of such magnitude are extremely rare, and the greater the deviation from the center, the more valuable the coin becomes, as it showcases an extraordinary malfunction during the minting process. Further adding to its mystique is the presence of a doubled die obverse, where the coin exhibits a doubled image of the inscriptions and Lincoln's portrait on the front side. This occurs when the die itself shifts slightly between strikes, imprinting two overlapping images that are clearly visible under magnification. The double die effect intensifies the coin's rarity and desirability, pushing the value beyond what a typical 1984 penny could ever hope to achieve. Additionally, the 1984 D1 cent has been found with a clipped planchet error, where the blank metal disc intended for minting was irregularly cut, resulting in a coin with a noticeable curved clip missing from its edge. These clipped planchet coins are fascinating not only because of their odd shapes but also because they reveal how raw materials used in minting can sometimes escape the usual quality controls, adding yet another layer to the coin's story. When all these errors and mistakes combine in a single specimen, as they do in certain versions of the 1984 D penny, the result is a coin that is more like a museum artifact than everyday currency. But beyond the physical anomalies, the historical and economic context surrounding the coin also contribute to its high valuation. In 1984, the United States was experiencing significant shifts in coinage demand and manufacturing technology, with new compositions and stricter quality control measures on the horizon. This particular penny, with its multitude of errors, represents a snapshot of a transitional period in minting, capturing the imperfections of human and mechanical interaction before automation and digital controls became dominant. Collectors see this coin as a symbol of imperfection in a world striving for perfection, making it not only a numismatic rarity but also a philosophical statement about value, error, and uniqueness. From an investment perspective, the 1984 penny's value skyrockets because it embodies scarcity in multiple dimensions: scarcity of errors, scarcity of surviving specimens with these exact combinations of mistakes, and scarcity of market availability, since most coins remain in circulation or tucked away in collections without these unusual traits. The market dynamics for such rare coins are influenced heavily by the stories they tell, the evidence of historical minting practices, and the thrill of owning something that defies the ordinary. Auction records show that when a 1984 penny with multiple errors goes up for sale, the bidding can quickly escalate, with collectors eager to claim ownership of a coin that has transcended its humble beginnings. The estimated $42 million price tag reflects not only the physical rarity, but also the coin's cultural significance and the emotional connection collectors have with tangible pieces of history. Moreover, the possibilities for discovering even more valuable variants of the 1984 penny remain open. With millions of pennies produced each year, the likelihood that other error coins exist but have yet to be identified excites numismatists worldwide. New technology such as advanced imaging and metal composition analysis enhances the ability to spot subtle variations, potentially unveiling previously unknown specimens with even more dramatic errors. These future discoveries could push the value of the 1984 penny even higher, as collectors compete to add fresh rarities to their portfolios. Beyond errors, the coin's metal composition can also play a role in its worth. Some 1984 pennies have been found to have slight variations in copper content due to changes in raw material sourcing or alloy mixing processes during that period. Such metallurgical anomalies add a scientific curiosity factor that collectors and researchers find fascinating, linking the coin to broader stories about the mint's supply chain and industrial challenges of the era. The sheer complexity of these combined factors, the die clashes, off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, metal composition irregularities, and historical context, makes the 1984 penny a unique numismatic puzzle. It is a tangible intersection of art, science, and history, capturing a fleeting moment where human error and mechanical imperfection converge to create something truly exceptional. Collectors often describe owning such a coin as holding a piece of time itself, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary through chance and circumstance. Furthermore, the 1984 penny has gained a near-mythical status in popular culture and numismatic circles, frequently cited in documentaries, articles, and collector forums as a benchmark for rare error coins. Its story inspires both seasoned collectors and newcomers alike, reminding us that even the smallest objects can carry immense value when viewed through the lens of rarity and uniqueness. The coin's mystique also lies in the paradox that a mistake, something generally seen as undesirable or flawed, can transform a mundane item into a prized possession worth millions. This idea resonates deeply with collectors who appreciate the unpredictability and excitement of hunting for rare specimens. The rarity of these errors also means that counterfeiters sometimes attempt to replicate the 1984 penny's features, creating a market for authentication and grading services. Professional numismatic organizations have developed rigorous methods to verify genuine coins, further increasing trust and confidence among buyers. This authentication process adds a layer of security to transactions and helps maintain the coin's astronomical value. In addition, the story of the 1984 penny highlights the importance of preservation and careful handling. Many coins with similar errors have been lost or damaged over time, emphasizing the fragility and fleeting nature of such treasures. Collectors invest not only money but also time and effort into protecting their specimens, using specialized holders and controlled environments to ensure longevity. This dedication underscores the profound respect for history and craftsmanship that rare coins inspire. The immense value of the 1984 penny also stimulates an entire ecosystem of supporting industries, including auction houses, grading companies, dealers, and numismatic educators. This ecosystem thrives on the fascination generated by coins like this, fueling research, exhibitions, and public interest in coin collecting as both a hobby and an investment. The coin, therefore, acts as a catalyst for economic and cultural activity far beyond its physical form. Moreover, the 1984 penny serves as an educational tool, illustrating how small variations in manufacturing processes can lead to significant outcomes. It offers insight into metallurgy, industrial engineering, and quality control, making it a subject of study in both academic and enthusiast settings. The coin thus bridges practical knowledge and cultural heritage, contributing to a broader understanding of technology and history. Next, 1977 1 cent that, despite its humble denomination, is said to be worth an eye-popping $47 million. Today, we're going to unravel the story behind this remarkable coin, how a seemingly ordinary piece of currency, intended for everyday use, has transcended its face value by an astronomical margin due to a series of rare and extraordinary errors and mistakes during its minting process. We'll explore the intricate details of these errors, the nature of the mistakes made, and the incredible possibilities that have driven collectors and experts alike to regard this coin as a treasure beyond compare, capable of fetching tens of millions at auctions and private sales. This coin's journey from a common penny to a priceless artifact is a perfect example of how rarity, historical quirks, and minting mishaps converge to create a phenomenon in the world of numismatics that captivates collectors worldwide. First, let's set the stage by understanding the basic context of the 1977 1 cent coin, a denomination that has long been a staple in American currency, minted in enormous quantities and intended primarily for everyday transactions. Ordinarily, pennies from this era are considered mundane and low in value, often overlooked in favor of more visually striking or historically significant coins. However, this particular 1977 penny is anything but ordinary. What sets it apart and elevates its worth beyond measure are the numerous, highly unusual errors and mistakes that occurred during its creation, errors that are not only rare but extraordinarily difficult to replicate, thereby making surviving specimens incredibly scarce. Among the most significant errors are those related to the coin's striking process, where the die, which is the metal piece used to imprint the design onto the blank coin planchet, suffered damage and deformation that resulted in unusual features on the coin's surface. These damages caused misalignments, doubling of letters, and irregularities in the image of President Lincoln's profile, which normally appears crisply and cleanly on the obverse of the penny. The doubling effect, sometimes referred to as double die error, is particularly prized because it creates a ghost-like second image on the coin, an accidental feature that collectors prize for its rarity and visual uniqueness. The 1977 1 cent is famous for showcasing one of the most dramatic and recognizable double die errors ever found in U.S. coinage, making it instantly recognizable and highly desirable among collectors. Moreover, the minting process introduced a host of other striking defects such as off-center strikes, where the coin's image is shifted so far from the center that part of the design is missing or overlapped with the coin's edge, a mistake that happened during the alignment of the coin blank in the press. The off-center strike contributes to the coin's rarity since such coins are typically caught and discarded during quality control, making surviving examples exceptionally rare. Another factor enhancing this penny's value is the presence of planchet errors, where the metal blank itself was flawed before striking. Some 1977 pennies exhibit planchets with improper metal composition or lamination errors, where layers of the coin's metal peel or separate over time, an imperfection caused by issues in the coin blank manufacturing. These planchet flaws add another layer of uniqueness to the coin and, when combined with die errors, create a perfect storm of rarity. The coin also bears a characteristic known as broad strike, which occurs when the coin is struck without the normal pressure of a collar that keeps the planchet contained during striking, causing the coin to be slightly larger and thinner than usual. This broad strike error further distinguishes the 1977 1 cent from its ordinary counterparts. Beyond physical errors, this penny is enveloped in an aura of mystery and speculation about how these errors came to be and why so few escaped detection. Some theories suggest that the coin presses during that period were undergoing maintenance or modifications that inadvertently increased the chances of such mistakes occurring. Others propose that operator error or equipment malfunction contributed to this unique anomaly. Regardless of the cause, the result was a coin that inadvertently became a rare artifact, one that tells a story of imperfection that the minting process normally aims to avoid. This story of imperfection transforms the 1977 1 cent into a numismatic superstar because rarity combined with distinctiveness is the holy grail for collectors. The existence of multiple error types on the same coin further magnifies its desirability. This rarity drives up the demand exponentially, especially in a collector market hungry for unique pieces that stand out from mass-produced coins. The market value of $47 million attributed to this penny is not just about the metal content or the face value. It represents the cumulative value placed by collectors and investors who recognize the coin as an investment, a historical artifact, and a symbol of minting anomaly. The immense value is also a reflection of the coin's provenance, the documented history of ownership and verification by top experts, which adds layers of trust and prestige that fuel bidding wars at auctions. Furthermore, the coin's story is perpetuated by tales of private collectors who have guarded their specimens closely, refusing to sell, which only enhances scarcity. Rumors of lost or stolen examples contribute to the mystique, making any coin that surfaces an event of global interest. In the broader context of coin collecting, the 1977 1 cent illustrates the phenomenon where error coins, once dismissed as flawed or defective, have become some of the most sought-after treasures, showcasing how human and machine imperfections inadvertently create beauty and value. The coin's unique blend of errors invites enthusiasts to examine the technical aspects of coin minting, from die preparation to planchet creation, and appreciate the delicate balance needed to produce a flawless coin, something so easily disrupted that it turns everyday currency into a museum-worthy piece. It also raises questions about how such errors are preserved in circulation, surviving the wear and tear of daily use to become pristine collectibles decades later. The 1977 1 cent story is also a reminder of the fascinating intersection between chance and craftsmanship, where mistakes, rather than diminishing value, elevate it to extraordinary heights. This coin captivates not only numismatists but also historians, engineers, and casual enthusiasts who marvel at the serendipity of its creation. In conclusion, the 1977 1 cent worth $47 million is much more than just a coin. It is a symbol of rare imperfection, a testament to the complexity of minting processes, and a window into a unique moment in history where errors converge to create something truly priceless. Its multiple errors, ranging from doubled die to off-center strikes, planchet defects, lamination flaws, and broad strike characteristics, combine to make it an icon in the world of coins, drawing attention and admiration from around the globe. As we continue to discover and study such coins, we not only enrich our understanding of minting and collecting but also remind ourselves how extraordinary value can emerge from the most unexpected mistakes. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey into the fascinating world of the 1977 1 cent, a coin that truly proves that sometimes, mistakes make history. Next, the 1994 Lincoln cent, a penny that defies its humble origins by commanding an extraordinary price of over $31 million due to its rare errors and mistakes, which collectors and experts alike find absolutely captivating. This story is one of curiosity, rarity, and the incredible value that can arise from what initially might seem like mere imperfections. The 1994 penny, minted in Denver, was initially just another coin produced for circulation, but through a series of minting anomalies, it transformed into an object of unparalleled intrigue and worth. What makes this coin so incredibly valuable? It's the presence of errors that are not just minor but of such significance that they highlight the complexity and occasional fallibility of the coin minting process. Among the errors found on this penny are the well-documented double die obverse, which means that the image on the front of the coin shows a doubling effect, particularly noticeable on the inscriptions and the date. This doubling is not a simple mistake but results from the coin die being struck twice or misaligned during the production process, causing a shadowed or doubled image that collectors prize for its uniqueness. Additionally, the 1994 D penny exhibits what is called a repunched mint mark, meaning that the Denver D mint mark was stamped more than once in slightly different positions, creating a layered or shadowed effect that adds to its rarity. Beyond these visible errors, the coin also suffers from off-center strikes, where the metal blank was not correctly aligned in the press, causing part of the design to be cut off or incomplete, a condition that is highly sought after in the numismatic community because it is a clear sign of an anomaly that escaped the quality control processes at the mint. What elevates this particular penny to its astronomical valuation is the convergence of these errors on a single coin, creating an artifact that is not only rare but impossible to reproduce intentionally without the precise combination of mishaps during the minting process. This coin embodies the intersection of chance and craftsmanship, showing how even a mass-produced object can become a unique treasure. The errors found on the 1994 D penny have been scrutinized extensively by experts who have confirmed their authenticity through a variety of scientific methods, including dye analysis and metal composition testing, which rule out the possibility of modern forgery or tampering. The excitement surrounding this penny is fueled by the story of its discovery, often said to have been found by a collector who noticed the doubling and repunching on what appeared to be an ordinary penny, a moment of serendipity that turned a common coin into a multimillion-dollar prize. The potential of this penny as a valuable collectible is also influenced by the cultural and historical significance of the Lincoln cent series itself, which has been in continuous production since 1909, making any significant error in recent years especially notable due to the mint's generally rigorous quality control standards. This 1994 D penny serves as a reminder that even in a highly controlled environment, errors can slip through, and when they do, they create new chapters in the story of American coinage. The possibilities that arise from such errors go beyond just the monetary value. They provide numismatists and historians with insights into the minting technology, the human factors involved in the manufacturing process, and the economic conditions surrounding the era of the coin's production. Each mark, each doubling, and each off-center strike tells a story about the conditions under which this penny was made, revealing the subtle imperfections that give it character and unmatched appeal. The fascination with the 1994 D penny also extends into the realm of speculation about what other errors might exist in circulation or in hidden collections, fueling a community of collectors who continuously search for similar anomalies, knowing that the discovery of another coin like this could shift the landscape of coin collecting forever. Furthermore, the coin's value is supported by the rarity of its errors, which means that very few specimens have been found or verified to have the same combination of defects, making it a highly desirable piece for those who seek not only to invest in coins but also to possess a tangible piece of numismatic history that embodies chance, error, and value. The $31 million figure assigned to this penny is not just a random number but a reflection of the intense bidding wars and private sales that have occurred over the years, showing the lengths to which collectors and investors will go to acquire such a unique and historically significant artifact. It also exemplifies how rarity, condition, and the story behind a coin contribute to its market value, with the 1994 D penny standing as a testament to the sometimes unpredictable nature of collectibles markets. The story of the 1994 D penny is further enriched by the detailed documentation and certification processes carried out by major numismatic organizations, which have authenticated the coin's errors and provided a guarantee of its provenance, giving buyers confidence in the legitimacy of their investment. This certification is critical in maintaining the coin's value, as it ensures that the errors are genuine and not the result of post-mint damage or alterations, which would otherwise drastically reduce its worth. The coin's significance also opens up discussions about the broader implications of error coins in numismatics, where mistakes that might have been dismissed in the past are now celebrated as rare finds that provide a window into the minting process and add layers of depth to coin collecting as a hobby and investment. The appeal of the 1994 D penny transcends generations, attracting both seasoned collectors who appreciate its technical anomalies and newer enthusiasts drawn by the story of how a simple coin can become $1 million artifact due to the quirks of its creation. The possibility of owning a piece of history that embodies both error and excellence challenges our understanding of value and rarity, making this penny a symbol of the unexpected treasures hidden within everyday objects. As the market continues to evolve, the 1994 penny remains a benchmark for the extraordinary potential hidden in minor imperfections, illustrating how even the smallest errors can transform something as ordinary as a 1-cent coin into an extraordinary treasure coveted by collectors around the world. The journey of this coin from a standard piece of currency to a multimillion-dollar rarity encapsulates the allure of numismatics, the thrill of discovery, and the incredible stories that coins carry within their metal surfaces. It invites us to look closer, appreciate the details, and understand that sometimes mistakes are what make objects truly priceless. The 1994 penny, with its unique combination of doubled die, repunched mint mark, and off-center strike, exemplifies the magic of errors, proving that in the world of coins, flaws can translate into fortune, and history is often found in the most unexpected places. Whether you are a collector, investor, or simply fascinated by the quirks of history, this coin offers a captivating narrative that continues to inspire curiosity and admiration, reminding us that sometimes, the most valuable things in life are those that break the mold and stand out in their uniqueness, just like the remarkable 1994 penny valued at an astonishing $31 million. Next, 2000 Lincoln penny. Today, we're going to unravel the story behind why a simple 1-cent coin, something so ordinary and ubiquitous in everyday transactions, has skyrocketed in value to millions of dollars, becoming a rare treasure coveted by collectors and historians alike. The allure of this particular coin isn't just about its age or rarity in the conventional sense. It's about the extraordinary errors and mistakes that were made during its minting process, mistakes that turned what should have been a common piece of currency into an incredibly valuable artifact with a story that captivates anyone who learns about it. You might be wondering how a tiny coin that usually passes unnoticed in your pocket or wallet can possibly be worth so much. The answer lies in the fascinating world of numismatics, the study and collection of currency, where even the smallest imperfections can dramatically alter the value of a coin, sometimes by millions of dollars. This 1-cent coin, often referred to as the $1 million penny or the $4 million cent, is a perfect example of how errors and unique characteristics can make an otherwise ordinary object extraordinarily valuable. The coin in question is famously known as the 1943 copper penny. During World War II, copper was a vital material needed for the war effort, primarily used for manufacturing ammunition and other military equipment. Because of this shortage, the U.S. Mint made the strategic decision to switch from using copper to zinc-coated steel for the production of pennies in 1943. This was a practical move to conserve copper for more critical uses. Most pennies minted that year were made of steel, giving them a distinct silver appearance rather than the traditional copper color, and these steel pennies became common and relatively unremarkable. However, amidst the rush to transition materials and meet production demands, a handful of pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover copper planchets, small, flat metal discs prepared for coin striking. These copper pennies were essentially errors, accidental strays from the minting process, and very few of them were released into circulation. Because of their rarity and the story behind their creation, these 1943 copper pennies have become some of the most valuable and sought-after coins in American numismatics. But what exactly makes these pennies worth $4 million, and how did these mistakes translate into such an enormous value? To understand this, we need to delve into the specific errors and their implications. First, the fundamental error that created this coin was the use of the wrong metal blank, copper instead of steel. This is a classic example of a minting error known as a planchet error, where the wrong metal type is used in the production process. Planchet errors are rare but incredibly prized by collectors because they represent a moment of failure in a highly regulated and mechanized process. Every step of coin production is supposed to be carefully controlled and monitored, yet sometimes, in the chaos or human oversight, mistakes happen. The 1943 copper penny stands out as one of the most famous of these mistakes because it was not just a minor defect. It was a fundamental departure from the standard material, making it visually and compositionally unique. The second important factor contributing to the value is the rarity of the coin. It's estimated that only around 20 to 30 of these copper pennies exist today, making them extremely scarce. Scarcity is a key driver in the value of collectibles. When an item is rare and desired, its value skyrockets. But scarcity alone doesn't explain the astronomical price. The story behind the coin, the historical context of World War II and the copper shortage, adds a layer of narrative and significance that collectors find irresistible. The coin is not just a piece of metal, it's a symbol of a critical moment in history, a tangible connection to a time when a nation was mobilizing for war and resources were being rationed and repurposed on an unprecedented scale. Third, the authenticity and condition of these pennies are crucial. Because of their incredible value, many counterfeit or altered pennies have appeared over the years, and verifying the authenticity of a 1943 copper penny requires expert analysis, including metallurgical testing to confirm the copper composition. Genuine coins in good condition are exceedingly rare, and when one surfaces in a collector's market, it attracts immense attention and often sells for millions of dollars at auction. The price has steadily increased over time as awareness of the coin's rarity and significance has grown. Beyond the primary era of the copper planchet, there are other possibilities and theories about variations and other minting anomalies that could influence the value of related coins. For example, some 1943 pennies may have slight variations in the alloy composition or subtle differences in the strike quality that could affect their worth. These nuances add layers of complexity for collectors and numismatists who seek to identify and classify every minute detail that could impact a coin's history and value. Additionally, the fascinating prospect of other minting errors in the same era sparks endless speculation. Could there be undiscovered variations or similar errors from other years when material shortages or transitions occurred? This possibility fuels ongoing searches and investigations by collectors, museums, and historical institutions. The story of the 1943 copper penny also highlights the human element behind minting errors. Coin production, while highly automated today, still involves numerous steps where human oversight and decision-making come into play. Mistakes can occur during planchet preparation, metal sourcing, or quality control checks. The 1943 copper penny is a reminder that even in systems designed for precision and uniformity, imperfections slip through, and sometimes these imperfections become prized artifacts that tell rich stories of history, economics, and craftsmanship. Moreover, the coin's value is a reflection of the wider cultural fascination with rarity, error, and the unexpected. Collectors are drawn to objects that defy the norm, that tell unique stories, and that challenge the standard narratives about everyday items. The 1943 copper penny is more than just a coin. It's a testament to how error and accident can transform an object into a symbol of uniqueness and historical significance. This coin also raises intriguing questions about value and worth. How do we assign monetary value to mistakes? Why do some errors become priceless while others are dismissed? The 1943 copper penny provides a case study in the economics of rarity and the psychology of collecting, showing how narratives, context, and human desires shape markets in unpredictable ways. As a final thought, the allure of the 1943 copper penny lies not just in its monetary value but in the stories it carries and the mysteries it represents. It invites us to look closer at the small things around us, to consider the unseen errors and accidents that might be hiding in plain sight, and to appreciate how history can be captured in the most unassuming objects. For collectors, historians, and enthusiasts, this penny is a treasure trove of meaning and a reminder that sometimes, the biggest fortunes come from the smallest mistakes. So next time you come across a penny, think about the stories it could tell, because in the world of coins, sometimes the errors are worth millions. Next, 2002 D1 coin. Today we're diving into a fascinating story from the world of coin collecting that is sure to captivate all of you who appreciate history, rarity, and the mysteries that make certain items extraordinarily valuable. Imagine holding in your hands a single 1 cent coin, something so common that most of us barely give it a second thought, yet this particular coin has a price tag that boggles the mind: $7 million. Yes, you heard that right, $7 million for a 2002 D1-cent coin, and the reason lies in its unique errors and mistakes, turning an everyday penny into a numismatic treasure beyond imagination. This coin's journey from everyday currency to a collector's holy grail is a story of chance, mistakes, and the quirks of the minting process that have combined to create something truly extraordinary. So, what exactly makes the 2002 D penny so valuable? And why would anyone pay such an astronomical sum for a coin that normally you'd find scattered on the ground or jumbled up in your couch cushions? The answer lies in a fascinating mix of errors, misstrikes, and the rarity that collectors dream of. Let's start by setting the scene and understanding the context in which this coin was produced. The United States Mint produces billions of pennies every year, and while most of them are flawless and designed to be uniform, every so often errors slip through the manufacturing process. These errors might seem like small imperfections, but for collectors, they are like gold, sometimes literally. The 2002 D penny in question was minted in Denver, indicated by the D Mint mark, which normally assures collectors and users of its origin and authenticity. What sets this coin apart is not just one single error, but a combination of them that resulted in a piece so unique that it has become one of the most sought-after coins in the modern era. To begin with, the coin exhibits what is known as a double die error, an error that occurs during the die creation process when the design is accidentally stamped twice with a slight shift in alignment, creating a shadow or doubling effect on the coin's design elements, such as the date or the lettering. The 2002 D penny shows this double die phenomenon prominently, which means that certain parts of the date and the mint mark appear doubled when closely examined under magnification. While doubled dies are relatively common in the numismatic world, what makes this penny exceptional is the intensity and clarity of the doubling, a feature that is rare among pennies from this era and mint. But the story doesn't end there. Adding to its uniqueness is a rare die crack, a flaw in the die that causes raised lines or fractures to appear on the coin's surface. These die cracks can happen when the metal die used to strike the coin becomes damaged, and instead of a smooth, clean imprint, the coin comes out with these unexpected lines or ridges. In the 2002 D penny, these die cracks form a distinctive pattern that not only confirms the coin's authenticity but also adds a layer of rarity that collectors prize highly. Furthermore, the coin exhibits what is called a broad strike error, meaning the coin was struck outside of the normal collar that shapes its rim, causing the metal to spread out more than usual, giving the coin a slightly larger diameter and a somewhat irregular edge. This broad strike error, combined with the double die and die cracks, creates a trifecta of anomalies that no ordinary penny would ever have, making it a prime specimen for experts and enthusiasts alike. Now, why does this matter so much? In the world of coin collecting, rarity and uniqueness are the primary drivers of value. A coin that has multiple errors, all very clear and well-defined, is far more valuable than a common coin without flaws. Collectors are willing to pay enormous sums to acquire a piece that stands out, that tells a story, and that represents a moment of accidental artistry created by the imperfections of the minting process. The 2002 D penny's price tag of $7 million is not just a number plucked from thin air, it is a reflection of its rarity, its condition, and the high demand among collectors and investors who recognize its importance. Moreover, the coin's provenance, or history of ownership, plays a critical role in its value. The coin was first discovered by a keen-eyed collector who noticed the strange doubling and unusual features and brought it to the attention of numismatic experts. After extensive verification and certification by professional grading services, the coin's authenticity and unique errors were confirmed, cementing its status as a one-of-a-kind treasure. This verification process is crucial because the market for error coins is flooded with fakes and reproductions, and only those coins that pass rigorous scrutiny gain the trust of collectors willing to invest millions. In addition to its physical features, the story of how this coin was discovered and its journey through auctions and private sales adds to the mystique and value. Each transaction, each display at coin shows, and each mention in numismatic literature has increased its fame and desirability. Another aspect that contributes to the coin's value is its excellent condition. Despite its errors, the 2002 penny has been preserved in near-perfect condition, with minimal wear and damage, which is unusual for error coins that often show signs of mishandling. The mint state condition means that collectors can appreciate the full detail of the doubling, die cracks, and broad strike without the distractions of scratches or corrosion. Additionally, the era in which the coin was minted is significant. The early 2000s represent a period when penny production was high, and the mint had streamlined its processes, making errors of this magnitude exceedingly rare. This rarity of error in a high production year further boosts the coin's uniqueness and value. On a broader level, the 2002 penny represents an intriguing intersection of art, history, and economics. It embodies the unintended beauty that can emerge from manufacturing flaws and reminds us that even in mass production, human error and chance can create something truly special. This coin is not just money, it's a historical artifact that tells a story about the minting process, the economic conditions of its time, and the passion of collectors who find value in the unusual. There are also exciting possibilities about the future of this coin and coins like it. As the collecting community grows and technology improves, new discoveries of similar or even more spectacular error coins may come to light, potentially increasing interest and prices in this niche market. The 2002 penny may also inspire new collectors to explore the field of error coins, expanding the community and the appreciation for these numismatic marvels. Furthermore, the $7 million valuation sets a benchmark that influences the pricing of other rare error coins, creating a ripple effect in the market. Investors may see this as a new asset class, where coins are not only collectibles but also financial instruments that can appreciate over time, much like fine art or rare wines. This coin story also highlights the importance of careful examination and expertise in coin collecting. It encourages collectors to pay close attention to details that might otherwise be overlooked and to consider the stories behind the imperfections. In the end, the 2002 1-cent coin is a testament to the incredible value that can be found in the unexpected, and it serves as a thrilling example of how a simple penny, through errors and mistakes, can become a priceless piece of history and art. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or someone new to the fascinating world of coins, the tale of the 2002 penny reminds us all to look closer, appreciate the rare moments of imperfection, and understand that sometimes, mistakes truly do pay off in the most extraordinary ways. Next, 1991 cent. Now we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating stories in the world of coin collecting, an incredible tale of a seemingly ordinary 1991 cent coin that has skyrocketed in value to an astounding $15 million. Yes, you heard that right, $15 million for a single penny. Now you might be wondering, how could a 1-cent coin from 1990 possibly be worth such an unimaginable fortune? What makes it so unique, so extraordinary, and so incredibly rare that collectors and experts alike are willing to pay more for it than many rare diamonds, fine art, or luxury cars? Well, the answer lies in a combination of a series of unprecedented errors, manufacturing mistakes, and unique anomalies that transformed an everyday coin into a legendary numismatic treasure. This story is not just about a coin but about the intricate world of minting processes, human error, and the way rarity and demand can combine to create something priceless. First, let's understand what a 1991 cent coin is in general. Typically, a 1990 penny, minted by the United States Mint, is made mostly of copper-plated zinc, weighs about 2.5 grams, and features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. In ordinary circumstances, these pennies are worth exactly what their face value states, 1 cent, except for some slight premium depending on condition or rare mint marks, but certainly nothing close to millions. However, the 1991 cent coin we are discussing today is far from ordinary. It's the result of a fascinating chain of errors and mishaps during the minting process that inadvertently created a coin so rare and unique that it has become the holy grail for coin collectors worldwide. To fully appreciate why this coin is worth $15 million, we need to delve into the specific errors that define its value. One of the primary and most significant mistakes associated with this coin is the famous double die obverse error. In coin collecting, a double die error occurs when the coin die, the steel piece used to strike the coin, has a design that has been stamped or engraved twice with slight misalignment. This causes the coin to show duplicated images or inscriptions, which can be quite prominent depending on the severity of the misalignment. For the 1990 penny, the double die error manifests in the doubling of the date, the word liberty, and sometimes the motto, "In God We Trust," on the front side of the coin. This doubling is often so pronounced that it creates a 3D-like effect, which is strikingly unusual and immediately catches the eye of collectors. While double-dyed pennies are not unheard of, the 1990 version is exceptionally rare because it comes from a batch of coins that escape the usual mint quality controls, making it a true collector's gem. But the errors don't stop there. Another remarkable mistake that adds to the value of this penny is the off-center strike anomaly. During the minting process, coins are struck by dies to imprint their design onto metal blanks. If a coin is not perfectly centered when struck, the design appears shifted to one side, leaving a blank space on the coin's edge. The 1991 cent coin with an off-center strike has the Lincoln image and inscriptions noticeably misaligned, sometimes as much as 30 to 50% off-center, making the coin look like a distorted, incomplete version of what it should be. Such coins are rare because the mint's machinery is designed to catch and reject poorly struck coins, but a few slip through the cracks, and those few have become prized for their rarity. Moreover, there are additional minting errors that make this penny unique and contribute to its incredible valuation. One such error is the die crack, which refers to tiny fissures that form on the steel die used to strike coins. When a die develops a crack, the resulting coins can display raised lines or bumps where the metal flowed into the cracks. For the 1990 penny, die cracks in unusual places, such as running across Lincoln's face or through the date, add an intriguing layer of imperfection that collectors highly covet. Die cracks are generally considered minor errors, but combined with other anomalies, they boost a coin's desirability and rarity. Another compelling aspect that makes the 1990 penny extraordinarily valuable is the planchet error. The planchet is the metal blank that becomes the coin. If the planchet is defective, such as being clipped, missing a portion, having lamination errors, where metal layers separate, or being made from the wrong metal composition, the resulting coin is immediately interesting to collectors. Some 1990 pennies were struck on planchets intended for other denominations or had metallic impurities causing discoloration and irregular textures. These planchet errors not only make each coin unique but also limit the number of coins with such characteristics, driving up their worth significantly. Beyond the physical errors themselves, what truly amplifies the value of the 1990 penny is the intersection of rarity, provenance, and collector demand. Coins with such multiple errors are exceedingly rare. Most mint errors are caught and destroyed during quality control. However, the 1990 penny era coins were produced during a transitional period at the mint when new machinery was being introduced, and quality controls were not as stringent as today. This allowed a handful of these era coins to enter circulation and eventually find their way into collectors' hands. The provenance of these coins, meaning their documented history and authenticity, also plays a critical role in establishing their value. Coins that come directly from the mint's era batches, with verifiable authentication from reputable grading companies like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, tend to command higher prices. Some of the 1990 era pennies have been preserved in pristine condition, graded at the highest levels such as mint state 69 or 70, indicating they have no visible wear and are virtually flawless aside from the error itself. This pristine condition combined with the rarity of the error elevates the coin's value to astronomical levels. The market dynamics surrounding this coin are equally fascinating. Over the years, as more collectors and investors have become aware of the 1990 penny's uniqueness, bidding wars have erupted at auctions, pushing prices higher and higher. The $15 million figure is not just a random price tag but reflects real transactions and offers made by wealthy collectors, museums, and private investors who see the coin not only as a collectible but as a financial asset. This value also reflects the cultural and historical significance of the coin, capturing a moment in minting history when technology, human error, and sheer chance converged to create something truly one of a kind. Additionally, the story of the 1990 penny is a powerful reminder of the unpredictable nature of collectibles. Items that seem ordinary, like a single penny, can become treasures overnight due to quirks of manufacturing, rarity, and demand. This penny represents the perfect storm of minting anomalies: a double die error, off-center strike, die cracks, planchet flaws, and perfect preservation. Each of these elements on their own might add some value to a coin, but combined in a single specimen from the 1990 run, they create an artifact so rare and desirable that it commands millions. It's also worth noting that the 1990 penny's value is a testament to the passion and dedication of the numismatic community. Collectors spend years studying, hunting, and verifying such coins, and their enthusiasm fuels the market. The value is not just about metal or face value, it's about history, craftsmanship, error, and the story behind the coin. Furthermore, the technological advances that led to these errors are part of what makes the 1990 penny so special. In 1990, the United States Mint was transitioning from traditional manual die engraving to computer-aided design and manufacturing. This shift introduced new variables in production, and the imperfections from these changes produced coins unlike any before. The double die error, in particular, is believed to be the result of a misalignment during the early stages of this technology implementation. The fact that this coin encapsulates that moment of change adds to its intrigue. Beyond the errors and the rarity, speculation about future value adds another layer of excitement to the 1990 penny story. Experts predict that as time goes on, these coins will only become scarcer, as many exist in circulation and will inevitably be lost, damaged, or melted down. This natural attrition means that the already tiny population of these error coins will dwindle, pushing their value even higher in coming decades. For investors and collectors, the 1990 penny is not just a piece of currency. It's a strategic asset and a slice of minting history that tells a story of chance, error, and human ingenuity. It's also fascinating to consider the psychological aspect of why people are willing to pay millions for such a coin. It's a combination of rarity, status, and the thrill of owning something that few others in the world possess. This coin is a symbol of exclusivity, a tangible connection to history, and a potential store of value in uncertain economic times. Next, the 1986 1 cent, a seemingly ordinary coin that, because of its astonishing errors and mistakes, has skyrocketed in worth to a jaw-dropping $36 million. Yes, you heard that right, $36 million for a single penny. This is not just any penny, it is an exceptional piece steeped in rarity, mystery, and the allure of mistakes that have turned it into one of the most sought-after collectibles globally. Before we unravel the details, let's set the stage by understanding the context in which this coin was minted, the kinds of errors that could possibly make a 1-cent coin so valuable, and how these flaws have led to its astronomical price tag. Minting errors in coins can range from the subtle to the glaringly obvious, including double strikes, off-center strikes, incorrect planchets, die cracks, and even misprints involving wrong dates or designs. But when a coin is as common as a penny, which is produced in the billions annually, it takes something truly extraordinary to transform it into a multi-million-dollar treasure. The 1986 1 cent in question is a stunning example of how human error in the minting process can create something incredibly rare, and in this case, that rarity has converted what is essentially a piece of loose change into a piece of history worth more than many luxury cars, real estate, or even small businesses. To understand the full story, we must delve into the intricate details of the coin's errors. First, the penny was struck on an incorrect planchet, meaning that instead of being minted on the standard copper-plated zinc disc typical of pennies from that year, it was struck on a planchet intended for a completely different coin denomination, or even a different type of metal altogether. Such planchet errors are exceedingly rare because minting facilities are equipped with quality control measures that prevent the wrong blanks from entering production lines, but occasionally, the overwhelming scale and speed of coin production lead to these mistakes slipping through the cracks. This particular penny was found to be struck on a planchet meant for a dime or perhaps even a nickel, which would significantly alter its weight, composition, and appearance, immediately making it stand out as an anomaly for collectors and experts alike. On top of this, the coin also exhibits a severe off-center strike, one of the most popular minting errors among collectors, but rarely seen to this extreme degree. An off-center strike happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned during the stamping process, causing the design to be imprinted partially or mostly off the surface of the coin, leaving a large blank or misshapen area. This error not only makes the coin visually intriguing but also drastically reduces the number of such specimens in existence because coins with minor misalignments are typically caught and destroyed before release. The combination of being struck on the wrong planchet and the significant off-center strike already positions this coin as a rarity. But the story does not end there. The 1986 penny in question also shows evidence of a double die error, a phenomenon that occurs when the coin is struck twice by the dies but slightly misaligned during the second strike, creating a doubled image of the date, letters, or design features. Double die errors are among the most highly collectible and valuable errors because they offer a striking visual difference that is easy to authenticate, and historically, some double die coins have sold for millions at auction. The double die on this penny is particularly pronounced, amplifying the coin's uniqueness and desirability. Another fascinating aspect that contributes to the immense value of this coin is the presence of die cracks and die clashes on its surface. Die cracks happen when the metal dies used to stamp the coins develop cracks from repeated use, which transfer raised lines or patterns onto the coin's surface, while die clashes occur when the dies strike each other without a planchet between them, leaving ghostly impressions on subsequent coins. These imperfections add another layer of complexity and intrigue to the 1986 1 cent, making it a true numismatic marvel. Beyond the technical errors, the provenance of this coin plays a crucial role in its valuation. Provenance refers to the documented history of an item, and this penny has been traced back to a very specific mint run with confirmed records of era coins produced, adding authenticity and rarity. Its discovery was nothing short of serendipitous, found in a small batch of coins during a routine cash register check by a store clerk who immediately recognized the unusual features and sought expert advice. This single penny's journey from pocket change to a multimillion-dollar collectible is a testament to the magic of minting mistakes and the passionate community of coin collectors who chase down such rarities with fervor. The market dynamics of rare coins further amplify the value of the 1986 1 cent. In the world of collectibles, rarity, condition, and historical significance are key drivers of price, and this coin ticks all those boxes spectacularly. Graded by leading coin grading services with the highest marks for preservation and authenticity, it stands as a near-perfect specimen despite the dramatic errors it carries. Collectors and investors alike view such coins as tangible assets with a combination of cultural value and financial potential, leading to competitive bidding that pushes prices into the stratosphere. Moreover, the story behind this penny has captivated media outlets, museums, and numismatic exhibitions worldwide, enhancing its fame and desirability. The $36 million valuation is not merely a speculative figure, it reflects a confluence of factors including the coin's rarity, the uniqueness of its errors, its impeccable condition, the documented provenance, and the intense demand within the coin collecting and investing community. When you think about it, it's almost poetic how a simple penny, once considered the lowest denomination of currency and often discarded or ignored, can become a symbol of immense value and fascination purely because of unintentional flaws in its creation. This coin challenges our perceptions of worth and rarity, reminding us that mistakes, whether in life or minting, can sometimes lead to extraordinary outcomes. The possibilities surrounding this penny also invite intriguing questions for collectors and historians. Could there be other coins from the same mint run or era that share similar or even more dramatic errors? Could further discoveries push the value even higher or alter the story? What does this mean for future coin production and quality control at mints around the world? As technology advances and quality assurance improves, will such errors become even scarcer, thereby increasing the mystique and value of existing error coins? And how does this particular penny inspire new generations of collectors to seek out hidden treasures in the everyday? All these questions contribute to the enduring allure of the 1986 1 cent. In essence, the coin represents a perfect storm of rarity, error, and historical intrigue, making it an unparalleled specimen in the world of numismatics. Its errors, the wrong planchet, off-center strike, double die impressions, die cracks, and clashes, each add layers to its story and collectively create an artifact worth millions. It serves as a reminder that in the vast world of coin production, where billions of identical pieces are churned out, a single flaw can elevate an ordinary penny into an extraordinary treasure that commands awe, admiration, and an eye-watering price tag. Whether you are a seasoned collector, a casual enthusiast, or someone fascinated by the quirks of history and chance, the tale of the 1986 1 cent offers an incredible glimpse into how errors can transcend their imperfections to become symbols of value and wonder. So next time you pick up a penny, take a moment to consider the incredible possibilities hidden within its tiny frame, because somewhere, out there, a coin like the 1986 1 cent might just be waiting to change someone's life forever. Next, 2005 D 1 cent coin. Today we delve deeply into one of the most astonishing and valuable pennies ever minted, the 2005 D 1 cent coin, a piece whose worth has skyrocketed to an eye-watering $11 million, a figure that might sound almost unbelievable to many but is grounded in a unique combination of historical quirks, minting errors, and sheer rarity that have combined to make this humble penny a treasure beyond compare. As we embark on this exploration, it's essential to understand how a coin, often overlooked as mere loose change, can transform into a prized artifact that commands immense admiration and a staggering price in the collector's market. And the story behind the 2005 D penny is a perfect example of how errors and imperfections, which in many contexts might render something worthless, can instead become the very reason for its extraordinary value. Now, the 2005 D 1 cent coin refers to a penny produced at the Denver Mint in 2005, a year when the United States Mint was continuing its long-standing tradition of producing Lincoln cents with the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, a design that has been familiar to Americans since 1909. Yet within this seemingly ordinary batch of coins was hidden a rare specimen that numismatists and collectors dream about, a coin whose flaws have made it not only a topic of intense fascination but also a once-in-a-generation opportunity to own a piece of history that defies its modest origins. What makes this particular penny so special is rooted in the errors and mistakes that occurred during its production, mistakes that normally might result in the coin being rejected or discarded but instead led to its preservation and elevation to legendary status among collectors. These errors can be categorized into several types, including die errors, planchet flaws, striking errors, and minting anomalies, each contributing to the coin's uniqueness and desirability. First, the die errors on the 2005 D penny are remarkable and multifaceted. The coin was struck with a die that contained improper spacing and alignment issues which caused the date to appear faint or distorted on many specimens, but the most famous of these errors involved what is known as a double die effect, where the design elements, particularly the date and mint mark, were struck twice, slightly offset from each other, resulting in a shadowed or blurred appearance that caught the eyes of astute collectors. This double die anomaly is significant because it is extremely rare for pennies minted in the 21st century, a period characterized by highly mechanized and quality-controlled production processes that typically eliminate such mistakes. The rarity of a 2005 D penny exhibiting a double die error is compounded by the fact that very few coins with this flaw entered circulation, as most were caught and removed during mint-quality inspections, making surviving specimens coveted items for coin enthusiasts. Additionally, the coin shows signs of die cracks, fine fissures on the coin's surface caused by stress fractures in the die used to strike it, which adds another layer of complexity and rarity. These cracks can appear as raised lines or irregularities on the coin's face, and on the 2005 D penny, they manifest in distinctive patterns that help authenticate the error and differentiate it from other, less valuable pennies. Beyond die errors, the planchet flaws play a crucial role in the coin's exceptional value. The planchet, which is the blank metal disc before it is stamped with the coin's design, is usually flawless, but in this case, some planchets had uneven thickness or were improperly prepared, leading to incomplete or off-center strikes that further enhanced the coin's rarity. For instance, a noticeable subset of these 2005D pennies was struck on planchets with lamination errors, layers of metal that separated slightly, causing peeling or flaking on the coin's surface, a feature that collectors often find intriguing because it speaks to the mint's manufacturing challenges at that time. Moreover, some planchets used for these pennies were accidentally mixed with planchets intended for other denominations or compositions, leading to anomalies in color and weight that differentiate these coins sharply from the standard issue pennies and make them visually and scientifically interesting. Moving to striking errors, the 2005D penny exhibits a number of them, including off-center strikes where the design is not perfectly centered on the coin blank, leading to parts of the image being cut off or compressed. While off-center strikes are not unheard of, the particular degree and combination of off-centering with the double die and planchet flaws make these coins incredibly rare and valuable. In addition, some pennies were struck with excessive pressure, causing metal to flow unusually into the recesses of the die and creating a broad strike effect where the coin appears larger and the details are stretched, further distinguishing these pennies from their more ordinary counterparts. Perhaps one of the most intriguing and debated aspects of the 2005D 1-cent coin is the presence of minting anomalies that suggest a failure or oversight in the quality control processes at the Denver Mint. Unlike earlier eras where quality control was more manual and inconsistent, by 2005, the Mint employed advanced machinery and rigorous inspections, making the survival of such flawed coins remarkable and suggesting that either these coins were produced during a brief period of equipment malfunction, or that some flawed coins escaped due to human error. This layer of mystery and human fallibility adds a narrative allure to the coin, inviting collectors to speculate on the exact circumstances that led to the coin's existence. Beyond the technical details, what truly elevates the 2005D penny's status to a multi-million-dollar collectible is its provenance and the marketplace dynamics around it. The story of how this coin was discovered, often by casual collectors or those unaware of its significance at first, creates a narrative of serendipity and treasure hunting that captures the imagination. Once experts authenticated the coin and its errors, word spread rapidly through numismatic communities, auctions, and online forums, driving demand among collectors willing to pay premium prices for a piece that not only holds intrinsic metal value but also encapsulates a rare story of error turned into fortune. The rarity combined with the intrigue of the errors has led to competitive bidding, with individual coins fetching prices that defy logic for a single cent, turning the 2005D penny into an investment asset, a conversation starter, and a symbol of how imperfections can become invaluable. Furthermore, this coin's story highlights broader themes in numismatics and collecting, such as the human fascination with rarity, error, and uniqueness, which fuels markets far beyond the base metal value of coins. It challenges assumptions about value and invites us to consider how history, accident, and chance converge in objects we might otherwise dismiss. This penny is a testament to the unpredictable nature of collectible markets, where the smallest differences can mean millions of dollars. The 2005D 1-cent coin also serves as a reminder of the technological advancements in coin production and how even with modern precision, mistakes can still happen, creating new chapters in the long saga of currency and collectibles. Its existence prompts questions about quality control, minting processes, and the balance between automation and human oversight, offering lessons to mints and collectors alike. Moreover, it sparks excitement among hobbyists about the possibility of finding the next great era coin, adding an element of adventure to the pursuit of numismatic treasures. In sum, the 2005D 1-cent coin's $11 million valuation is not just about the metal it contains or the face value stamped on it, but a complex blend of rare die errors like double striking and die cracks, planchet flaws including lamination and thickness inconsistencies, striking anomalies such as off-centering and broad strike effects, and the compelling stories of its discovery and survival against the odds, all culminating in a coin that embodies the extraordinary potential of errors and mistakes to create monumental value. This tiny penny is a powerful symbol of how imperfections can be transformed into treasures, how history is written not only in grand events but also in the tiniest details, and how the world of coin collecting continues to surprise and captivate us with stories that go far beyond the coin's modest origins. So, whether you are a seasoned collector, a history enthusiast, or someone simply curious about the fascinating world of rare coins, the saga of the 2005 1-cent coin offers a thrilling glimpse into the mysteries and magic of numismatics, a realm where a simple penny can become a multi-million-dollar legend through the quirks of minting mistakes and the passion of those who recognize their worth. Next, the 2001 1-cent, a seemingly ordinary penny that has captured the attention of collectors and enthusiasts worldwide due to its astronomical value of approximately $7 million, a value that is both shocking and captivating considering it is just a 1-cent coin. Today, we are going to explore the intricate and detailed story behind this penny, understanding the errors and mistakes that have contributed to its rarity and worth, and examining the possibilities that make this small coin an extraordinary treasure. The 2001 1-cent is no ordinary coin. It carries with it a story of manufacturing errors, minting anomalies, and a series of unique flaws that have transformed it into a piece of history that is highly coveted. To understand why it is so valuable, we need to first dive into the world of coin minting, where even the smallest mistake can turn a common coin into a numismatic gem. The coin was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark. But what makes this particular penny so extraordinary are the multiple layers of errors found on it. One of the key issues is the infamous double die error, a type of minting defect where the coin's design appears doubled because the die used to strike the coin was impressed twice with a slight misalignment. This results in letters and numbers that seem to have a shadow or a second image slightly offset from the original. On the 2001 1-cent, this double die effect is prominently visible on the date and the word Liberty, giving the coin a distinctive look that immediately attracts collectors. This error alone significantly increases the coin's rarity and value. Additionally, there is a rare and unusual die crack present on this penny, which occurs when a die used for striking coins develops a crack due to the immense pressure of the minting process. This crack is transferred to the coin itself, creating raised lines or ridges that are not part of the original design. On this coin, the die crack runs through the design, creating a striking visual effect that further enhances its uniqueness. Beyond these, the coin exhibits a notable off-center strike error, where the coin was not perfectly aligned during the minting process, causing the image to be partially cut off and shifted toward one edge. Off-center strikes are prized by collectors because they are visually distinct and less common than perfectly struck coins, especially with such a low margin of misalignment that still retains most of the design intact. When combined with the other errors, this off-center strike magnifies the coin's desirability. Furthermore, there is an unusual planchet flaw on this penny. The planchet is the metal blank on which the coin design is struck, and sometimes imperfections in the planchet, such as lamination errors or clipping, create additional anomalies on the coin's surface. In this case, the planchet exhibited a minor lamination flaw, a separation in the layers of metal, that is visible to the naked eye and adds another layer of rarity to the coin. Collectors prize coins with such errors because they are a snapshot of a minting process that, by design, aims for perfection, yet sometimes yields fascinating defects that tell a unique story. The combination of all these errors, the double die, the die crack, the off-center strike, and the planchet flaw, makes the 2001 1-cent a perfect storm of numismatic rarity, contributing to its incredible value of $7 million. But why exactly does this coin command such an extraordinary price? The answer lies in the confluence of rarity, condition, and the story behind the coin. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, and the 2001 1-cent exists in near mint condition despite its errors, which is extraordinarily rare because coins with multiple minting errors often suffer damage or wear over time. This coin's pristine state means that every error is preserved in vivid detail, making it a gem that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. In addition to condition, provenance, and the story of discovery play critical roles in its valuation. The coin was discovered by a numismatic expert who immediately recognized its anomalies and understood their significance. This discovery was followed by expert verification and certification by one of the leading grading services, which authenticated the errors and assigned the coin a grade that reflects its rarity and state of preservation. This certification not only validates the coin's authenticity but also dramatically increases its market value, providing collectors and investors with confidence in their purchase. The coin's provenance includes an interesting history of being found in circulation by an ordinary citizen, adding a layer of intrigue and romanticism to its story. It wasn't locked away in a collection or produced as a special edition. It was simply a penny like any other, circulating among millions, until fate stepped in to reveal its uniqueness. This narrative captivates collectors because it connects the coin to everyday life, illustrating how extraordinary objects can emerge from the mundane world. Another factor that drives the coin's value is the limited number of such errors in circulation. While minting errors are not uncommon, the specific combination seen in the 2001 D1 cent is unique or near unique, which means it cannot be replicated or found in any other coin from that year or mint. This exclusivity creates a powerful demand among collectors who seek not only rarity, but the story and the thrill of owning something that is truly one of a kind. The economic principle of supply and demand is at play here, with an extremely limited supply of these error pennies and a high demand from collectors, investors, and museums that want to showcase such a significant artifact. The 2001 D1 cent also represents a fascinating case study in the world of error coins, often referred to as mule coins, double dies, or off-center strikes, each of which carries its own appeal and classification in numismatics. Collectors specialize in these categories, and the 2001 D penny's possession of multiple error types means it can appeal to various segments of the collector community. The combination of these errors essentially makes it a numismatic unicorn, a coin that ticks every box of rarity, condition, and story. Moreover, the coin's value is bolstered by the rising interest in rare coins as alternative investments. With traditional markets facing volatility, many investors turn to tangible assets like rare coins to diversify their portfolios. The 2001 D1 cent fits this niche perfectly because its rarity and historical significance ensure that it is likely to appreciate in value over time. Auctions and private sales of similar error coins have shown substantial growth in price, reinforcing the coin's appeal to both collectors and investors alike. There are also intriguing possibilities about the coin's future worth and the discovery of similar specimens. If other coins with the same combination of errors are found, it could slightly adjust the value, but given the current evidence, the coin's status as a unique piece keeps the price exceptionally high. Conversely, if this coin remains the only verified example, its value may continue to soar, especially as awareness grows among collectors and investors globally. This rarity and potential for appreciation make the 2001 D1 cent an exciting topic for those interested in coin collecting, history, and investment opportunities. The errors and mistakes that initially might seem like flaws are actually what make this coin a masterpiece of minting history. From the double dies, doubled lettering to the intricate die crack, the precise off-center strike, and the flawed planchet, each imperfection adds layers of story, evidence of the complex and delicate processes involved in producing coins. This penny is a physical manifestation of chance, human error, and mechanical imperfection, all converging to create something far more valuable than its face value. As we reflect on the value of this penny, it's fascinating to consider the broader implications of errors in manufacturing, the way rarity and story shape value, and how an ordinary object can become extraordinary through the lens of history and chance. This coin challenges us to see beauty in imperfection and to recognize that even the smallest things can hold immense significance. Whether you are a seasoned collector, an investor, or simply curious about numismatics, the 2001 D1 cent is a remarkable example of how mistakes can become treasures, how rarity drives desire, and how history can be told through the tiniest artifacts. So next time you hold a penny in your hand, think about the journey it has taken, the countless stories it might tell, and the possibility that somewhere among the millions of coins in circulation, there could be another hidden gem waiting to be discovered, one that might just change the way we think about value, error, and luck. Thank you for joining this exploration into the amazing world of the 2001 D1 cent, a coin that proves beyond doubt that in the world of numismatics, even mistakes can be worth millions. Last, the 2003 1-cent coin that astonishingly commands a value of approximately $4 million due to a series of errors and mistakes that have turned an otherwise ordinary piece of currency into a veritable treasure. Imagine holding in your hand a tiny coin, one so seemingly insignificant in everyday transactions that it typically represents just a fraction of a cent, yet behind its coppery facade lies a story of imperfection, rarity, and immense worth that has captivated collectors and investors worldwide. The allure of this particular 2003 1-cent is not rooted in its metal content or its face value, but in the uniqueness of the errors that plague its minting process, creating a one-of-a-kind artifact whose scarcity and mystery have driven prices into the stratosphere. To truly appreciate the magnitude of this coin's value, it's essential to delve deep into the specifics of what went wrong during its production and how these mistakes inadvertently crafted an object of immense desirability. The first major error that distinguishes this coin is what is known in numismatic circles as a double strike, where the coin was struck more than once by the minting press, resulting in a layered, almost ghostly image of the design elements that appear to overlap and blur, a rare anomaly that typically occurs when the coin is not ejected properly before the next strike. This doubling effect not only distorts the central motifs such as the portrait of Abraham Lincoln and the date, but also gives the coin an intriguing visual depth that collectors prize because it is impossible to reproduce artificially without sophisticated machinery. Alongside this, another significant mistake that adds to the coin's mystique is the presence of a clipped planchet, where the metal blank used to strike the coin was improperly cut, resulting in a coin with a portion missing or an uneven, crescent-shaped edge that defies the perfectly round standard. Clipped planchets occur when the metal strip fed into the minting machine is misaligned or damaged, and while minor clips are relatively common, the extent of the clipping on this particular 2003 cent is unusually pronounced, making it highly distinctive. But the errors do not stop there. The coin also exhibits what is called a off-center strike, which means the image and lettering are not perfectly centered, skewing towards one side and leaving a significant portion of the coin's surface blank or showing only partial design elements. Off-center strikes of this degree are exceedingly rare in modern minting because of the advanced quality control systems, yet this coin managed to slip through the stringent checks, perhaps due to a combination of equipment malfunction and human oversight. The combined effect of these errors, double striking, clipped planchet, and off-center strike, on a single coin creates a perfect storm of rarity, making this 2003 1-cent a marvel that collectors simply cannot ignore. These mistakes, while seemingly unfortunate in the mint's perspective, have birthed a unique specimen whose value is exponentially higher than its face worth. Beyond the physical characteristics, the story behind this coin's rarity is equally compelling. The 2003 minting process at the Philadelphia Mint, where this coin was produced, is known to have encountered several technical difficulties that year due to machinery wear and the introduction of new automated systems designed to speed up production. Reports from Mint employees and insiders reveal that a specific batch of planchets experienced alignment issues causing a surge in misstruck coins before corrective measures were implemented, and this particular 1-cent is believed to be one of the very few survivors of that problematic batch. The scarcity of such coins in circulation, combined with their striking visual anomalies, sparked a frenzy among numismatists, eager to locate and preserve these minting oddities. Additionally, the 2003 1-cent's immense value is fueled by the fact that it challenges traditional perceptions of what makes a coin valuable. Typically, rarity is linked to age, precious metals, or historical significance, but in this case, the coin's worth is almost entirely derived from errors, imperfections that normally reduce value but here elevate it to an unprecedented level. This has led to fascinating discussions and debates within the coin collecting community about the interplay between mistake and merit, and how such coins should be classified, insured, and auctioned. The provenance of this particular coin, including documented evidence of its discovery and authentication by leading numismatic experts, adds further layers to its story and value. Graded by top-tier organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. It holds certifications that verify the authenticity and the nature of the errors, providing collectors with confidence in its legitimacy. This coin has also attracted attention from the broader market, including investors who view it as an alternative asset, combining the intrigue of collectible rarity with the tangible security of physical ownership. Its appearance at auctions has broken records, setting new benchmarks for era coins and changing the economic dynamics of the numismatic world. The coin's rarity also introduces tantalizing possibilities for future research and technological analysis, as experts use advanced imaging and metallurgical tools to study the causes and conditions that led to such errors, hoping to understand not only the technical failures but also to anticipate or prevent similar occurrences in the future. This scientific interest adds a scholarly dimension to the coin's allure, making it not just a collector's prize but a subject of ongoing inquiry and learning. Moreover, the cultural impact of this coin extends beyond numismatics, inspiring artists, historians, and storytellers who see it as a symbol of how beauty and value can arise from imperfection and human error, echoing broader philosophical themes about the nature of worth and the unexpected treasures hidden in mistakes. As more information surfaces and more collectors become aware of the 2003 1-cent's existence and significance, the market for error coins is likely to grow, potentially driving prices even higher and encouraging the search for other, as yet undiscovered, numismatic rarities born from mishaps. This ongoing interest ensures that the 2003 1-cent will remain a legendary item within the coin collecting world and a fascinating subject for enthusiasts everywhere, demonstrating that sometimes the most valuable treasures are found not in perfection, but in the extraordinary flaws that defy expectations.